I know. And it's just like the thing that gets me the most upset is that like this was such a lost opportunity because I feel like there was an interesting interview to get here. Like
Yeah.
the interesting thing that ended up happening is like the tide started to turn a little bit. I think that people realized that we all got swept up in this. And I think
Yeah.
that there was a little bit of a mob mentality that started to happen. And
Hmm.
like the reunion was really rough on Raquel. And like I
Yeah.
think she took a lot of abuse from like the general public. Not to
Hmm.
say that like what she did, like, you know, what she did was horrible, but like we
Yeah.
all got a little bit swept up in this. And I think that we like people started to like be thinking that.
I think so.
And I think that if it was more of like an introspective and balanced conversation,
Hmm.
that like she did say certain things that like, you know, are super unfair to her, like the fact that she was recorded by Tom Sandoval, you know, which we're going to get into later. But because the beginning part of this interview was just so many like lies and I'm a victim, it just kind of like discredited the whole conversation. And like there just wasn't enough accountability. Like she said the words, but there's nothing behind it.
Yeah, that's what it really feels like, is that there's no, like, there's no way she's actually processed this and has dealt with it and will be in a place where she can talk about it, which I think is why I'm kind of upset that she didn't come back for the next season, because I almost think that if she had returned for season 11, or I guess I wish that if she had returned to season 11, she would have the opportunity to like hear what Ariana, Lala, Katie, like what they would say and what they would like say back to her, and then she would maybe be able to be like challenged and like hear about like this situation from another perspective, somebody who's like deep in the thick of it, right? Like somebody who could tell her like Tom probably like was manipulating you, and Tom was feeding you a narrative of this relationship, and you know, she doesn't have that person that's going to challenge her right now. A therapist isn't going to have the knowledge of this show. The therapist is just going
Yeah.
to hear what you have to say and like give you back an answer. And
Yeah.
I think if she had returned to season 11, she might have had the chance to actually like grow from this. And, you know, now she's going to have to do it over years and years and years of therapy, hopefully. Or she'll never learn,
Hopefully.
or she'll just
But
never learn. It'll
but
never
that's it. And
happen.
like I think like the main thing, like the times that you become more sympathetic to her is when you realize the levels of manipulation from Sandoval.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
just not addressed in any way in this podcast. Like
No.
you could
Ugh.
tell that she still hasn't grappled with that. And like
Mm-hmm.
instead it seemed like there was more anger towards Ariana, and she was trying to basically like she was not blaming, but like it was kind of like she was trying to discredit a little bit of Ariana
Oh,
and
a
some of
million
the things that
percent.
she said. So it's like clearly you haven't done all the work. I think you're doing it. It
Mm-hmm.
was too soon to do an interview, and it was the wrong
Yeah.
person to do an interview with. And I
Yeah.
don't know how you now come back later because this was the moment.
That's just it. This is very unfortunate. And I think if she had come back for season 11, like she would have better prospects. Had she come to see, like she could have shopped this around. She could have like, she could have gone to People. She could have gone to TMZ. She could have gone to Daily Mail. Like there's so many like public. She might have even been able to go to like a, I don't know, like a Good Morning America. I don't know. Like she would have been able to go see somebody. Like I'm sure you could have shopped this around to like different networks. If you'd stayed within NBC, they would have appreciated that. Like there's things that you could have done, and it just feels like she just keeps on making the wrong choice, unfortunately.
Yeah,
And now I don't know how she moves forward.
just so misguided. But according to Bethenny, she's very happy with the
She's killing
podcast.
it. Yeah, they're both really happy.
iHeartRadio,
They're
super
very
happy.
happy.
They're
They're the
very happy.
happiest.
They think this went great.
This was perfect. They're so glad that they decided to do this.
No notes.
No, no.